Isn't baptism and dedication the same thing? You know, you may be asked that question a lot, and especially if you go to a service and you see baptism and dedication, you may think, well, they look very similar on the surface, and I can't disagree with you. When you see it, it looks very, very similar. It's very same concepts. You have the parents up there, you have the children up there, and there's a prayer, and you're giving them to the Lord, and we're asking for the Lord's providence, protection, and guidance. And so it may seem very similar, but it really is a distinction. First, we see dedication in a few places. Probably the most notable one is in 1 Samuel with Hannah, who dedicates Samuel, her newborn son, to the Lord, to the temple of the Lord, and is given to him as an act of dedication. This point where the parent, the mother in this instance, but the parents dedicate their child to the Lord. We see it more there than anywhere else. But what we believe in baptism, when we baptize a child, it's a little different. We're saying we're really giving significance to what God is doing. And we say baptism is actually a sacrament. Baptism is a sacrament. In our shorter catechism, Westminster Shorter Catechism 92, it says a sacrament, and these are going to be some bigger words, but it's okay. We'll walk through it. It says a sacrament is a holy ordinance appointed by Christ by which, by visible signs, something you and I can see by our senses, touch and see, Christ and the benefits of the new covenant are represented, sealed, and applied to believers. So what they're saying, this sacrament is something we can observe with our senses. We can taste and see. St. Augustine used to call it a visible sermon. The sacrament is something we can see and experience this grace that God has given us. And it signifies something spiritual that is happening. That in baptism, something spiritual is actually happening, that God is initiating something in that moment. In dedication, we're acting and giving to the Lord, but we believe in baptism that something spiritually is happening where God is initiating with us. God is doing something spiritually, and something physically is being shown in that moment. So I would say they're not the same. They may look the same, but it's very, very different in what's happening. That God is actually doing something in the baptism. That God is sealing this child as mine. And the best example I can think of is a king who gives a wax seal of this promise. And he seals that in upon the child. And it's a symbol, a sign to all the people that this child belongs to the king. Now, it doesn't mean that they come to faith, that they'll have to grow up and one day profess faith and open that seal of that promise and kind of with faith walk into that relationship with God. But dedication is something we do to the Lord. Baptism is something God is doing to us. There is a distinction while they may look similar on the surface.